lie is, I can't do this. I don't have what it takes. And if you notice, like a lot of our lies seem to overlap and seem to repeat. And it's because those lies especially run deep. And you don't just face them once. They're just, the words are changed. And we do this in our head too. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, I finally overcome the I can't mentality. And then it'll change its words just a little bit and creep right back in for me. Which is why God has given us this study that has so many different wordings of the same lie. So we can't just sneak through it. So this one is one that I super struggle with. I don't have what it takes. And it's actually one literally this week that I have been struggling with. Like I had we had Easter and I had a few days with my daughter where I wasn't doing my normal routine. And I came back with just a really bad attitude about all of it. I've still done it every day, but God has really pushed me to do it. He has really pushed me to do it. He's really kept a lot of reminders in my head about why I want to make these changes, why I want to do these things, and that is my choice. That's a big one for me. I think was a big realization for me when it was I get to choose whether I do it or not. He's going to give me the results if I put in the work. And so, it's a struggle. Like we constantly want to try to tell ourselves, oh, we can't. I'm not good enough. I'm not up to this. I don't have enough talent. I'm not skilled enough. When we can learn, we can do, we can grow. And that's what we have to do. Like that's our thing. And Philippians 14 really debunks this. It says, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And that verse is so powerful. We do not have to rely on our own strength, our own skills, our own knowledge. We get to rely on Christ for those skills, for those strengths, for those knowledge. That doesn't mean we don't need to put in the work to gain the knowledge, gain the skills, gain the stamina, but it does mean that we don't have to have it to start. So, like right now, I'm on my weight loss journey and I need to tone up my stomach. I need to tone up my muscles. I need to gain more stamina. And I really do need to lose a little bit of weight. Not a ton of weight, maybe 15 pounds. But I should lose 15 pounds. I don't know how to do that. And so God has me learning how to do that. He has me, studying, what's going to work. What do you need to do? What's going to work for your life? What's going to work for your stamina? What's going to work for your schedule? Like he has me working through all those things and learning what it takes to lose weight as a 48-year-old woman in perimenopause who has never had to struggle with her weight in her life until now. So, even after I had kids, I lost everything really fast and didn't really have to work at it. But now, the world has thrown me a loop, and to me, this is probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to do because I don't know how. I've never had to watch what I eat. I've never had to pay attention to my exercise. I've never, it's just always done it naturally. So, I don't have to rely on myself to learn all that. God's going to help me through that process. And as long as I'm moving forward, I will see results and I will get there. And that's kind of the point. That's, the whole point is God will get us to the end, not ourselves. It's not going to be our own will, our own thought process, our own our own knowledge and wisdom that's not going to get us to where we need to be. It's when we rely on God that we see the progress and we see the knowledge and the wisdom take root and create real lasting change. Because really, anybody that's going through the process of wanting to change any aspect of their lives, whether that be career, whether that be motivation, whether that be their family, whether that be their marriage, like whatever you're trying to change or work on, it's not us that's going to get us there. It's God. And when we really let go of that control and lean on God, that's when we see the results. At least that's every time I've seen results in my life when I'm trying to make changes. It's God that gets me through the finish line, not myself. I can do surface things, but I always revert back when it's me. But when I turn to God for something, it gives me lasting results, not temporary results. When I do it, it's temporary. When God does it, it's lasting. And I think the number one example of that in my life is my marriage. So back years and years and years ago, when we were struggling, we were a new married couple going through whatever we were going through, I turned to God, and I used scripture to really work on my marriage. I used God to really work on my marriage, and that didn't mean we didn't have more different troubles through the years, but it set a foundation with God underneath it. The whole, God is our rock, our foundation. That's really what it did. So every time we would have difficulties after that in our marriage, I had that foundation of what to do. I had that foundation of God's wisdom and God's knowledge on how to handle it. And I didn't always do it perfectly, and I messed up, and but because my foundation was strong, it could get through all those mess ups. So we always say, me and my husband always joke that there's a reason that after 31 years, I think this year, out of all the things that me and him went through, we're still married. And nobody else would have stayed married. Like, we have been through pretty much anything and everything that you can possibly imagine. But because we had him as our foundation from the beginning, we've been able to get through it all, literally. So, there's some truth to that.